Namaste and welcome to day 26 of my 30 days or our 30 days of yoga challenge. Moving to the fifth chakra now. So this is your throat chakra, the Vishuddha chakra. We've started now to move into the spiritual chakras. It still relates, physical. It still has a physical connection with the body, so this would be your throat, your neck, your jaw, your mouth, but it's also kind of connects with communication. So we are trying to open to balance this particular energy center to enable you to express yourself, to communicate with others, to say what needs to be said. It's sometimes you might feel you can't say. I think as you get older, you get a little bit better anyway. You can stand up for yourself more, you speak up for yourself more. But there might still be situations when you feel like your tongue is tied, you can't say it, you need to say it. So working with the throat chakra is going to help you express yourself more, to communicate with others, but also, and importantly so, to listen. So it's a two-way street, isn't it, communication? It's not just you talking, saying what you need, it's also listening to other people. So it will, when we open balance this chakra, it's about improving those particular aspects. Okay, so the colour is blue. I don't think I just said that. Colour is blue. So I put my blue top on because I had one. Also wearing my blue gemstone bracelet. So sometimes if you're into crystals and things, wearing those particular crystals can help, or the colour, or ones that are connected. It's not always just the colour. Ones that are connected with the different energy centres can help to kind of work with that chakra, even if you're not doing yoga. So if I'm wearing my sort of like bracelet, I'm thinking about connecting with my my throat chakra that little bit more. So the postures to working with this chakra are to soothe, to open the throat, to stretch the back of the neck. So we'll start. Okay. We're going to come to an Ujjayi breath. I don't know if I've done this with you so far. I possibly did, but an Ujjayi is we're constricting the. Oh, no, I don't think I did do it actually. We're constricting the muscles at the back of the throat. So it's the feeling of breathing like this. Okay, so it's sometimes called Darth Vader breath. I like ocean breath. I think it can sound like the ebb and the flow of the ocean. So the mouth is closed, but the feeling is the same. So you're breathing in, constricting the kind of back of the throat, and the same with the out breath. So it's in and out through the nose, but it almost feels like you're breathing in and out through the throat. It's a strange feeling, but it's very calming. It really kind of focuses the attention here. So you can have your hands as you wish, Gyan Mudra possibly, or maybe just resting into the lap. And we're just going to take a few breaths without Ujjayi. So victorious breath is another name. So breathing in, breathing out. And just listening to the sound of the breath. Let's do this 2 more times. And then release the space around the back of the neck. Take a couple of normal breaths, natural breaths. Feel the difference, how much more open it becomes. I'm sure you would have found that it really focused your awareness here, and this is why it's helping us bring our awareness to the throat chakra, but also focuses the mind. So it's a beautiful one to kind of start as a beginning meditation, just to take a few minutes just to focus on the sound and the feeling of the Ujjayi breath. So we're just going to open up, stretch the head, the neck a little. So we just take, shoulders relaxed, just let one ear drop towards the shoulder, so for that beautiful stretch here. Breathing. Head is heavy, so notice how heavy that head is. And we're going to take a half circle, so we're going to go nice and slow, sitting up tall. Just going to pause, chin towards the chest. You can feel that stretch across the back of the neck. And you're going to come nice and slow to the other side, so the other half, so your quarter turn. Head is heavy, so just let the head be heavy. Feel that stretch across the side of the neck, coming back, so half circle back to center, so dropping the chin towards the chest. You might feel kind of sweet spots where it feels a little bit tighter. Coming back to your start position, I kind of feel like it really reveals a lot of tension around the neck. Kind of shows you where there's these kind of little spots where it feels a bit tighter. Coming back to center, we're just going to gaze over the right shoulder, so shoulders relaxed, so staying facing front, but just turning the head. Really, these are really good kind of anti-aging postures, movements as well, because you can feel that tightening across the jaw, so it's almost like a natural facelift. Okay, coming back to center, and then over to the other side. And I'm sure you can feel it, so you're keeping the mouth closed. You can feel that stretch across here into the neck. It's keeping everything nice and firm. Okay, coming back to center. And we're just going to take a shoulder shrug. Okay, let that drop. Going again, really squeeze, 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 and let that drop. And then again. Okay. And releasing. Okay, so we're actually going to come to Simhasana. So this is lion breath. We did look at this the other day within our goddess pose. I think that was a couple of days ago. So you can sit as you were, or you can come onto your heels, and you take your hands out like nice and spread. So I'll kind of show you what, you can come with me if you're familiar with it, but I'll show you what we're doing. We're scrunching up the face. So scrunch, 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 and the hands as well. And then, so you're sticking the tongue out as much as you can. Actually, the eyes are looking up. I'm just looking at you, but the eyes are looking up. And you're spreading those fingers nice and wide. I know it feels weird, but you are at home. No one else is watching. Only I can see you. And can you feel, like if you tried that with me, how much, so it's really working to firm up around the jaw, around the face. So again, it's a beautiful anti-aging, so like a face yoga pose. So we're going to do this 3 times. So we'll do this together. So we're scrunching everything up, and then so leaning forward into it, eyes up, and then coming back. So scrunching up, and then one more time. Oh, I can really feel that. We need to moisturize now. Breathing in last time, and then okay, optional noise, but you get the feeling. So really fantastic. So a good throat chakra one. So we're going to come into Ardha Matsyendrasana. I've lost myself then. We're going to come into a twist. So we'll take the right foot over, left leg under possibly, and then we're going to turn towards your right side. So different options, so you can hold, hook, extend, or if the bind is there, so you need to be over that knee and then the hand threads through. I think you can just about see, but you need to try to stay up tall. If you find yourself in this position, it's not really, it just feels awkward. So just kind of find the position that feels right for you. Remember, the bottom leg can stay extended, and then that same feeling. So now we're turning the gaze towards that shoulder. If you're keeping the mouth kind of closed or, you know, loose, not kind of gripping, you can feel that feeling again, that stretch across the jawline. Obviously, we're coming into the cervical spine, into the neck as well. So you're getting a nice kind of release here. Okay, a couple of deep breaths, lifting up through the chest, so try not to sink into it if possible. And then coming slowly back to center. And actually, let's try our swivel. If your legs are bent, they'd be accessible. Keep the feet exactly where they are. Don't move the feet. turn, 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 and then hey presto, as if by magic, we are in the right position on the other side. If it didn't work out, or the bottom leg was extended, so it can't really swivel, bring the legs back out, take the left leg over, bottom leg under possibly, and then you're back on the other side, and then exactly the same. So Ardha Matsyendrasana, half lord of the fish. So you're taking that turn, mostly it's coming from the belly button, so you're not forcing into the low back, but kind of lift, and then turn towards that back shoulder. So you might hold the knee, hook the elbow, extend, or the possibility for the bind on this side, if available and if comfortable. Ultimately, the binds are just getting you deeper into the twists. So let's just take a couple of breaths here. We feel that stretch across the neck, across the jaw. It really is helping to firm, to tighten around the jawline, which is fantastic if you're in your middle years like myself. Okay, and then coming slowly back to center. Okay, so let's unravel. We're going to come onto all fours to begin with. We're going to stay low in our practice today, just because, no reason, just the postures I wanted to include kept us low. So we're going to be, I want us to come or move towards Ashtangasana. So I've not looked at this one with you in this challenge yet. So if we come to plank, so in plank you've got your wrists up under the shoulders. I don't know if this is a perfect plank, but I'm just trying to describe to you the alignment. Shoulders away from the ears, shoulders over the wrists, so you're nice and strong. So you don't want to be here. Oh, that's horrible. Horrible for the wrists and too much pressure. You want to keep a straight line, so you don't want to be sagging. I think you can see. I don't want to be sagging like this, and if you can help it, and you don't want to be sticking your bottom up, because then you're moving more towards downward facing dog. So you're finding that kind of straight line, or as close as. Remember, you can always come to a modified version, knees down. But we're going to move through Ashtangasana. So this is 8 points touching. So you're going to take the knees down to the toes, still touching, hands are touching, knees are touching. Keep the elbows hugging in, so knees. And then you're kind of taking the chest down. Now, it's not the most comfortable position for everybody, so you're going to get as close to it as you can. So knees, chest, chin, okay? So I think you can you see my chin's extending away. If that is too open, just take the forehead down, okay? You might find your bottom is a little lower. If you can lift the bottom, then you're getting there. Okay, it's a beautiful work for the spine, but you can see that I'm really open through my throat, and then I'm just going to move through into my cobra, or come higher or stay lower in Sphinx. So maybe you can I can still feel it going on here in my spine here, or your hips are off into upward facing dog, okay? And then I'm just going to move back, and I'm going to press back to child's pose. So that should feel good. Okay, we're going to move to all fours. We're going to come to plank, so find your plank. I know it's not always easy if you can't see, but it's just that feeling, so you don't want to be sagging, not bottom in the air, and really kind of comfortable with the wrists and the shoulders. Okay, and then you're going to come to Ashtangasana, so think knees, hug the elbows in, lower the chest, lift up through the hips, extend the chin away. Okay. Take a couple of breaths here. Do what you can with this, okay? It doesn't have to look exactly the same. Just think about trying as best possible to kind of come towards this position, and then release, come through into your cobra or back bend, whichever feels comfortable for you, and then pressing back. Okay, so we'll just do that one last time. So come to all fours. Come into plank, or you can do your modified version. Take a moment here. Knees, hug the elbows in, lower the chest, lift the hips, extend the chin away. And breathe. If it's too strong on the back, just soften the hip to the bottom, okay? And then releasing, come through, okay? And then press back, child's pose. And we'll take a couple of breaths in child's pose for the moment. Arms can be extended, hands by the side, or just rest the forehead onto the hands or the forearms, okay? We'll take a couple of breaths here. Okay, and then coming up to sitting up. So lots of different postures and you can see why I'm including the postures, to open the throat, to stretch the back of the neck, to feel that you're working into the jaw, into the neck. So this is what we're doing. The rest of the body is moving as well. It's just we're bringing our awareness to the different chakras in these different classes. So a little bit more energy will flow towards those particular energy centers, and we'll work to open, to balance, to kind of restore them really, where they just so easily blocked by life, by lack of physical movement, by emotions, by for the throat chakra, things not said that should be said, that sort of idea. We're going to come down onto our backs. So if we're thinking about our throat chakras, what did we yesterday? So yesterday we looked at bridge pose, didn't we? So, and then I was talking about Jalandhara Bandha, so that was the throat lock. So Jalandhara Bandha, there's a feeling of working with when we're pressing in this way, like we did in bridge pose, you're stimulating the thyroid gland. And another posture where we're kind of really working with that is shoulder stand. So we have looked at shoulder stand together in this challenge. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, so we're gonna look at bridge, and I'm gonna give you the option to come up into shoulder stand, Ashtangasana. But we'll do a couple of bridges just to release the back, and then you'll start to feel, so exactly now when you're pressing into the feet, lifting, so chest moves towards the chin or chin towards the chest, and you can feel that pressure around the throat. This is our throat lock. This is, at this point, you do not move the head, so you stay nice and still. Breathe. Okay, and then releasing down. We'll do that again. So again, you're just tucking the bottom under, pressing up, feel that throat lock. Do not move the head now. This is just to keep everything safe, keep the neck safe. Okay. Remember, so we're breathing here and then releasing down. And if you want to come to shoulder stand, we'll come into shoulder stand together. If you're not sure, or you just don't want to come into an inversion today, then come back to bridge, maybe stay a little deeper in bridge. You can clasp the hands under the back, tuck the shoulders under. If you want to come to shoulder stand, so you might be new to it if you haven't, if you're just kind of joining or just kind of looking at this video, you're going to bring the knees in towards the chest. And really, for some people, it's lifting the bottom and the hips, that's the issue. If you're familiar with it, come straight up. We're just going to kind of do it, sort of break it down. You might find you kind of get to this point, you can lift the bottom and the hips up. And then it's just a case of walking the hands down. So you tuck those shoulders a little, walk the hands down. There's my neck, back of my neck is not even touching the floor. Okay, all the effort is into my upper arms and my shoulders. Okay. There's no pressure into my neck at all. So it's not neck stand, it's shoulder stand. If you still find you're jackknifing like this, it's just a case, and again, it might not happen in one go, but you walk those hands a little bit further down the back. If you feel that there's too much pressure on the neck, you're not comfortable with it, come out. You can alternatively take a blanket under the shoulders, not under the neck, but under the shoulders, and that might help to take pressure off if you're feeling it under the neck. But if you're really not sure, don't do it. Just come to bridge pose. Okay, so there's always alternatives. Nothing is kind of obligatory in your practice. You can keep active through the feet, so just to flex the feet if you wish. And just again, do not move the head. Okay, we're really kind of putting a little bit of pressure here. It's a strong pose. It's the queen of the asanas, shoulder stand. Really in terms, not in terms of difficulty, but in terms of the benefits. Being in inversion, you can feel that pressure into the throat, that kind of release through the body, through the legs. And there we are working with our Vishuddha, so our throat chakra. We'll just take another couple of breaths here, or if you're in bridge, coming out at any point that you need to, but try to come out with control if you can. So we'll come out together now. We'll bring the knees down slowly towards the head, untuck the shoulders, and then attempting to come out slow. Sometimes you end up kind of like rocking yourself up, but you're going to come nice and slow. Stay down, keep the knees in towards the chest. If you're in bridge, you're coming down now, you're bringing the knees towards the chest. And just take a couple of moments, couple of breaths. So don't come up suddenly at all. We're going to have a look at Matsyasana, fish pose. So that will be our kind of final posture, as it were. So let's take our legs out. You can come to seated fish. If you don't like laying down fish pose, you can come up to seated fish. If you're happy to kind of join to have a go, we're extending the legs out. The arms are by the sides. If you're able to, it's comfortable to, you're going to take the hands under the bottom. Palms are facing down, palms are to the mat, and then you're tucking those elbows under. Okay, so for some people this feels a bit much, so you might have the hands by the sides, and then you're pressing into the forearms to lift the upper body. Okay, I find it a little bit easier if you tuck the arms under, hands under, arms under. This is naturally, as I press into my elbows, my forearms, I'm naturally able to lift my chest, my belly, and I'm taking the top of my head back to the mat. I am not having my head dangling. It is absolutely supported by the mat. Just gently, there's no weight into my head. All the effort is in my forearms, okay? Elbows, forearms, hands. I have to emphasize that because I do not want you putting loads of pressure in your head or on your head. That will not be good for your neck, okay? I know this is quite an open posture. Again, it's a little bit of a Marmite pose I found in amongst my students because it is very open, okay? It can be difficult to get the lift through the chest. It does require a little bit of flexibility. So you can come to seated fish or not, if not, okay? We'll just take one more breath here. This is a beautiful one to do after shoulder stand. Obviously you're opening the throat, the neck in the opposite direction. Right, so when we're coming out, you're lifting the chin towards the chest. It's pretty heavy, the head. Then you're going to lower yourself down. So untuck the arms, hands release. And just take a moment laying completely still. Just taking a moment just to feel that kind of buzz around the body. Okay, and then we'll just take the knees in, bring ourselves up to sitting. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's sequence. Maybe you feel the beneficial effects of opening, working with the throat chakra. So I'm just gonna, as always, say thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Namaste. Thank you.